suitcase to get my stuff. And I was like, I looked at the weather. So it said 92. Then I looked at Philly's weather. It said 45, and I got anxiety. I said, I'll do this later. So I had to do this later, man. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet.
Well, it's very sunny here, and we're super excited for you to be here tomorrow. I mean, Saturday. My day's all mixed up. All right, guys. I'm going to let Chris take over. I'm going to send another email to remind everybody that we're on, too. Good, Chris?
Oh, good.
Okay.
So what's up, Andy? So the general mission calls, I like to just do like an open Q&A, just so everybody can kind of, share what's on their heart. And I think it's just easier. It's personal, it's very personable. So you guys can let it rip, and then I'll close us out later. Does anybody have anything?
Chris, I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming and for doing what you've done. I do actually have a VIP ticket, so I got to watch your other calls. Mm-hmm. I listened to the one that you did the other day, this morning while I was doing my workout, and it was just like you hit the nail on the head like every 2 minutes, and it was just so inspirational and so amazing. And after the first call that I listened to, I actually went and wrote myself the letter, and I've been reading it to myself every single day, shared it with my team, changed some lives by sharing that with my team. So yeah, I'm so thankful for you and everything that you've already poured into us already. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I think the part that's so moving to me is like, I know you guys don't know your potential. And when you do get it, to watch you skyrocket, like to watch, and it's like an overnight thing, the mindset part of it, to watch you guys like take this stuff and just soar means the world to me. Because, I don't know how long, this Beachbody will last. I haven't, no one knows. But I just know that, I don't take any day for granted. Any opportunity I get to just pour into you guys, I do it. I do. I've had, and probably the last 4 weeks, I've had Nike's call me, Adidas. It's been about 4 or 5 other brands. Well, the Nike and Adidas, that's a conflict with Beachbody because of the apparel and the shoes. And so, the one Nike rep, he mentioned, you're a perfect fit for our company, and we can get you a shoe deal and apparel deal and really get you out there globally. And I started thinking to myself, so if I left, I would hurt a lot of people. So I told myself, I said, you know what? He said, we have these, lucrative contracts, we have athletes. I mean, I know who Nike is, So I told him, I was like, if I was to leave Beachbody, man, I would hurt a lot of people. I would hurt them because I brought them hope and then just left. And I don't chase money, man. I said, so in my mind, I told myself what I'm going to do is whatever, if a deal does present itself, I told myself, first of all, I'm not for sale, number one. Number two, I can create whatever they want to give me by making y'all better. So it's like, you got to ask yourself this, do you take the big check up front? Or do you invest in people and make them better? Because my grandma always taught me that true success is when it leaves your house and goes into someone else's. Well, if I get a big $2, $3, $4, or $5 million check from them, whose house? That's only going into my house. But if I can show you guys your potential and make you successful, then I think we all win. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm like really serious about you guys, because I can't do that. I won't do that to you. It's just not my character. So, and not everybody, I think I've been on 2 other calls and I've told them about the Nike thing. And it's just like, wow, like, you would actually turn that down. Yeah. Well, why not? Because I'm going to hurt people. I can't have that on my conscience. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm different. And because I know I'm different, I got to walk out my purpose in this company. And my purpose is you guys. It's not the DVD sales. Who cares? It's nothing. It's you. It's empowering you, making you better. Because when I make you better, it makes everybody better. So that's just kind of how it goes. Anybody else have anything? Nobody has a question? You got emotional on me, Angela? You know what? Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. It's definitely a God-given talent for sure. And it's nothing that I just wake up and cultivate.
I'll ask a question.
What's that?
So what would you say your 30-second commercial is? When you go, I'm not sure if you had to interview with Beachbody and things like that. I saw the 20s little segments that they had, and they all had to give a 30-second commercial. So I think that doing a 30-second commercial is super valuable, and it helps us to have more confidence and to know and understand what we are doing ourselves, so that we can help other people as well. What is your 30-second commercial?
My 30-second commercial would just show a bunch of my mission statement, my purpose, to empower, love, and inspire through different ways, through speaking, through training, through, being that person that's helping out the person that's left out. It would just demonstrate unity, and it would demonstrate diversity, size, shape, color, ethnicity. That's what I represent. I gave you 17 seconds. Anybody else? Oh, don't get freaked out because I have on a Nike coat. I've had this. I was sitting there like, they probably think I've had this coat for. I've got a whole bunch of Nike. Before I actually, what's funny? Probably 4 years ago, I got signed by, I got an apparel deal with Nike. So I have a bunch of it was crazy. I have it was like a small apparel deal through training. And I have a bunch of Nike gear with my name on it. It's just downing across the chest with a Nike swoosh, a ton of that in my closet. So it's just kind of weird that when they gave me an apparel deal like 4 or 5 years ago, I was relatively unknown. They actually was sponsoring a high school team, and I was training that team, and they said, "Dude, we want to offer you an apparel deal, and we'll send you clothes, and you could sell them in your store." So I was selling them in my store, but they would send me a pair of shoes a month, but they hurt my feet, so I just gave them away. Just gave them random people in my gym all the time. It was weird. It's pretty cool though. So yeah, don't get spooked out. I've had this. Anybody else have anything?
I have a question.
What's that?
So how do you approach helping people with their health and fitness when they are just overwhelmed by everything? They're like, oh my gosh, a meal plan, a workout calendar, all of this. And you can see their head is going to explode because it's just too much for them to take in. How do you approach that?
So when you see stuff like that, for me, it gives me more compassion, because for a person to oh my gosh, that means that their mind hasn't been challenged. It hasn't been expanded to dream. Hasn't been expanded to different facets of themselves. And so when I see that, it's kind of wow, I just overwhelm that person with all this different stuff. And the compassion is what means the most to me. You got to hold people's hands sometimes. So I always start with I told the girls last night in a call, when you got, new people, you just ask them what they want. You give them little doses at a time. And then especially if people struggle with food, what you don't want to do is you got to know their story. You got to know their why. When people they gain weight or they go, there's a reason. No one's going to wake up and say, I want to be overweight. There's a reason why people mask things differently. And so you got to deal with the why first before you can deal with any meal plan. And that's the thing what I love about, what I do is because people wear masks all the time. And so you're never really talking to that person right away. You got to get them to take the mask off. When they take the mask off, then you deal with the person. The key is to keep the mask off, but they got to be able to trust you. You see what I'm saying? So some people you got to hold their hands. Some people jump right on board, and some people you got to nurture and develop. That's the part of being the best, a well-rounded coach. You want to be, and you want that challenge. You don't want any weaknesses in your game. Did that answer that question? How did you get started with fitness in general? How did you get started with your own gym? I got started in fitness from the death of my uncle. He had a dream. At the time, I was just modeling and acting. He had a dream that I would be a global fitness trainer. And he said that the training was very impactful and it was changing people's lives. They were wearing my clothes and all this stuff. And he said it was worldwide. And I shook it off. I was like, nah, dude, I don't want to be a trainer, because I didn't want to have to cancel people if I had, modeling and acting obligations. Like, for example, there's a Mind Hunter. You guys ever heard of that? Mind Hunter on Netflix. I think it's so anyway, they just called me today to read for a role on that for tomorrow, but I'm leaving to go to Phoenix. But my point is, I didn't want to have to cancel people if I had, castings or auditions. So I shelved it. But when he passed away, I had struggled so bad. I couldn't shake his death. He was my best friend. He was my father figure. And I just couldn't shake his death, man. And so over the course of 6 months, I got really depressed and just really lost. And the only way I felt that I can come out of it is if I pursue training, because I knew that's what he wanted me to do. And so I said a prayer to him one day. I just said, listen, I'm going to give this a shot, but you got to live through me and you got to express yourself through me, and you going everywhere I go. And that was it. I challenged the dream at first. I found this lady, I've known her. She was like 685 pounds. I asked her if I could train her, and the rest was history. But the thing about her that was so unique, she just went to the doctor that day, and her doctor told her that she was going to die like that if she didn't lose weight. And he said it was nothing they could do for her. And so she left her phone in the living room, and I was calling her phone and she didn't answer. And I left her a message. I said, Tam, give me a call. I need to ask you a question. She called me the next day and she's like, what's up, buddy? I said, can you meet me at Einstein? She was like, yeah, sure. Is everything okay? I said, yeah, I need to ask you a question, but I want to talk to you in person. So I went to Einstein, and she walked in with a cane. She sat down, just all bubbly. She said, what's up? I said, I got to ask you something, but you got to promise me you won't get offended. And she was like, okay. I said, can I train you? And she just started crying, just bawling her eyes out. And I'm like, I'm sorry. She said, no, you don't understand. I went to the doctor yesterday, and the doctor told me that there was nothing they could do for me, that I was going to die like this. She said, so I left my phone in the living room, and I said a prayer. And I asked God, I said, the doctor doesn't believe in me. My family doesn't believe in me. Somehow, some way, show me that you believe in me. And I was calling her that whole time. And so from that moment, I knew that my training career was going to be special. Oh, how'd you get started with your own gym? Actually, from some of the money from my uncle's death. That's it. Yeah. I took some of the money. It wasn't a lot. It was like 15,000, and I opened a gym. That was it. Yeah, my stories are crazy, right? I know. Any more questions? Nobody else? I got all these people. I had 29 people on here. No one has a question? 2 rounds. The biggest struggle for me was nutrition. Yeah, I'm a big rice here. So that's probably my fault. The brown rice, isn't wasn't on there because I did some research on carbs and like starchy carbs, and I realized that they really weren't. Don't get mad at me. I realized that they had no nutritional value. Like they really didn't help you. If anything, the carbs converted to sugar and then stored as fat. So, and then I just realized it always made me feel puffy every time I had some type of carbs. But that's just me. And then I didn't want to go into detail with it as far as Shift Shop because I don't want to discourage anybody. Some people can eat brown rice. Some people can eat starches. I'm just not a starchy person. And so I knew brown rice was like going to be a toughie for people that's always looking at the scale because it'll make you retain water. And so I didn't want, I said, we can't have brown rice in there. We can put the other stuff in there, but no brown rice. Let me see. Carrie, you're from Ohio? Wow. What part? Okay, you playing, right? You know that's where my gym is. My gym is in North Canton.
I went to high school. I went to Hoover High School.
What? Yeah. Wow. That is incredible.
What year did you graduate?
95.
Okay. I graduated 98.
See, I look, I told you I'm older. That's all this coconut oil I put on my face. You can't tell my age.
That's so funny.
Oh, yeah. I love coconut oil. My biggest piece of advice for a brand new Emerald coach. First of all, what does Emerald mean? Is that like a beginning coach? Is that what that is? Okay. So hold on. Kylie, I want you to answer that question for me because I just shared it with her yesterday.
Hey, all right. Am I here?
What's my biggest piece of advice for a brand new coach?
So it's write it down. Write that letter to yourself. Write your mission, your everything, and don't worry about all of the numbers, the ranks and advancements. Worry about your purpose. Are you living out your purpose? And it hit me hard. Thank you.
Yeah, so that's it. I believe a new coach should come into the business
and know who you are.
Yeah. I feel like a new coach should come into the business with the mindset of really mapping out what they want to accomplish. And then, in doing that, I just feel that it helps their covering, the coach above them to really nurture and develop them. I feel like when you're a new coach and all you hear about is the success stories, it could be a little frustrating as because timing is different now. It's a different era. It's a different time. The methods people use in the past to be successful, you may not necessarily be able to use that now. So if you get a person to just focus on, their roadmap, what they want to become, what they want to accomplish as a coach, they can navigate through that process and find their path, find their avenue to be successful, as opposed to using someone else's and them getting frustrated and quitting in 6 months. So I just think a coach should just focus on their why. Like, why am I doing this? What do I really want to accomplish? And then in the physical, take those actions that complement that every day. Oh man, you hit me with this on my end. Beginner journey with me, but she isn't ready to start working out until she loses more weight. She's over 200 pounds. She just finished it. I already said not recommend if she isn't working out. One of the things that someone says, and it's kind of, Daniela, when a person says, I want to lose some weight first before I work out, really the issue is the working out. It has nothing to do with losing the weight. There's a fear to that. And so I feel like when you deal with someone like that, you got to ask them, deal with the why. Why are you afraid? Because that's not the issue here. Is you don't need to lose weight because you're going to lose weight when you work out. So you deal with the why. Like, why don't you want to work out? And at that point, even if it's Zoom, you work out with her and you make sure she does all modifications for everything, because that's going to give her confidence And when she gives her confidence, then she's going to take risks. Some moves she won't modify, but you got to hold their hand and just tell her, you just got to get through the next 60 seconds. That workout's done. 13 more exercises, the next 60 seconds. Take them step by step throughout the whole process. Before you know it, the workout's over and they're like, that's not too bad. You see what I'm saying? But you got to deal with that fear, that why. Wow. So I have so much love and admiration for foster parents because you guys might not, I was adopted. And so, I have so much admiration for foster parents that just, it moves me. I know I was in the local town, like the little strip mall, this strip mall Carrie, in Belden. So I was, and they have that new Panera, like over there by Verizon. And I was walking out of Panera, and there was this white family, and they had 2 little black babies, right? And I was like, wow, like that's love right there. And you can tell they were foster parents because it was little ones. But I was like, I probably should like go talk to them and teach them how to do their hair though, because the kids was cute, but the hair was so nappy. I was like, it's a cute situation, but we missing something. Like, I got to get you the right brush for those 2. Like, just the right brush, like, just a little bit of something, and then you got it all. They was dressed nice. The kids was happy, but they had some naps, But I'm sure I'll see them again. Let me see. Oh, but her belief is holding her back. She has been diagnosed with some things recently. Yeah. So you said she's been diagnosed with some things recently. That's the motivation right there. Anytime I deal with somebody that has an ailment, an illness, I literally put it on their lap and I tell them, you have to overcome this because you're going to be the spokesperson for this situation. There's millions of people that you have to help set free. Like, you have to overcome this. And sometimes, when they're going through different things and their body's hurting and they feel sick, that gives them a sense of entitlement. So, you know what? I'm a man up to this. I'm gonna overcome. I'm gonna own this, and then rise above it so I can teach others how to rise above it. So that's what I try to do. If a person is lacking motivation, I remind them, like, you can't. Like, you have to figure this out because somebody needs your help. It always works. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Where you at? Wave your hand for me.
Leanne, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you.
Okay, so since you're so busy and always on the go, how do you avoid burnout and always keeping your energy and enthusiasm up for, all the things that you have to do, or all the things that you want to do?
I get tired. I mean, if you look at some of my stories, my eyes are like, I'm like a raccoon. But my problem is I don't sleep as much as I should. That's my biggest problem. But how I stay motivated is in the morning, puffy eyes and all, I meditate, and I restore myself every day. And then I realize that, I'm not here for me. I'm here for you guys and everybody else. So to me, that's motivating in itself. So I can't, I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to have a pity party. Like, I have 16 hours, 18 hours to make sure I'm bringing out the best in somebody, whether it's at my gym, grocery store. I have to be on my A game. What is your favorite personal development book? The Celestine Prophecy. It's not a personal development book, but it's a book. And it's all about intuition. It's powerful. Does anybody else have anything? Come on, it's got to be a question somewhere on here. Let me see. No? Okay. Yeah, I would recommend Shift Shop to, I do it every day. I have a, hold on one second. Dana, come here. CJ. Sorry about that. Here. Come here. Come here. No, it's not a live call. Come here. Hurry up. Huh? Come here. Come here. So I'll turn around. Come here. Come here. Come here.
No.
Right there. Hold on, turn it down. Let's see your belly. Right there. Oh my gosh. Just for a belly rub. So yeah, I recommend for a Shift Shop. She does Shift Shop every day. She's what, 5 months? So I haven't announced it though. So you guys are the first people to know. Yeah. So yeah, haven't said a word. Isn't that crazy? It's 5 months and I haven't said one word. No, you guys are the only people to know. So if it gets out, I'm blaming you. It is a boy though. It is a boy. So yeah, I make her do Shift Shop every day. I don't make her, she does it herself.
I have a question.
What's that?
Someone asked in the chat, but I've been wondering too if you can tell us what workout we're doing on Saturday. Or is
it... You know what? I don't know. I never know.
Oh.
You know, it's crazy is when I got signed to Beachbody, it was the funniest thing. So Carl was like, have you ever created, it was like the initial interview. So it's me and like 20 people in this room. And he was like, so have you ever created a workout program before? I was like, no. He said, what do you mean? I said, no. He said, well, wait a minute. All those videos I saw on YouTube, you didn't have a outline plan for those? I was like, no. So then how'd you do it? I said, well, I had my equipment shipped to the stadium and I would arrive about 45 minutes or an hour early and I would just walk the field or walk the court and I would just let my mind talk to me, just download what we supposed to do. Then I would just pull everything out. Told my buddy to turn the camera and just follow me. So I freestyle all of that stuff. He said, you freestyle. Oh, I said, freestyle all of it. So this is funny. So they didn't think I would know how to cue, but he didn't know I had an acting background. I didn't tell him. He didn't ask. So they put me through a series of tests and I kept passing the test. So then they have like some people who do like research on people. And so he said, okay, I want you to create a 10-minute workout, cue this. Nailed it. And about 2 weeks later, Jack called. He said, all right, dude, we got to talk. You're not telling us something. You've nailed every cueing test. There's no information on you whatsoever of how you're going about this. What do you want to tell us? I said, what do you want to know? how are you so fluent in front of a camera? I said, because I have an acting background. You do? Why didn't you tell us? Because you didn't ask. You asked me about training. You asked me about being an actor. And so from there, it just came second nature. But the funny part is, like the key art shoot of when you like wear all the clothes. So most super trainers get like four, they strive for like 4 or 5 looks. He didn't know I modeled in the past. I end up, so we started taking the pictures. I was knocking these pictures out like quickly, 30, 40 minutes. I ended up doing 11 looks. It was the most looks a super trainer's ever done. I said, why is he so fluent in front of a camera? And I said, you didn't ask, dude. You asked me about training. You didn't ask about modeling. I said, why do you think I keep my teeth together? I smile too much, man. So it was kind of funny. It was really, really funny.
Hey, Chris, I have 2 challengers coming with me that have never done Shift Shop. What workout should I have them do tomorrow to prepare them for the Saturday workout?
You know what? I wouldn't. I wouldn't, because
I like your answer.
I freestyle all these events. I freestyle everything. I never know what we're gonna do. I just feel it. Like I feel the energy of it, and I just feel it. And I feel everyone in that room's energy, and I know how to keep people involved and not feel like they're not a part of it. And I just let it rip.
Awesome.
Also, what made you want? I think what probably stood out to Carl the most is probably my engagement, because the way I am, in Shift Shop is how I was, on YouTube. So I think that's what probably resonated the most. And I don't know. As far as what made me want to work with Beachbody, I really don't know. When I got signed, I was kind of like, what am I supposed to do here? But because it was just, those other trainers raised the bar so much as far as like the programs. I wasn't afraid. I had no fear. I just seized the moment. I just said, just turn it. I just need a camera. I need a camera and a couple faces around me. I'm good. And that was it. But I wanted to be impactful. That I can say I definitely wanted to be impactful. However way that had to happen. Anybody else? I can't believe you guys don't have questions. This is crazy. This is the easiest Q&A I've ever had. All right, I'm ready to turn the table on you. Am I going to be making another program? Next question. I'm not telling you all these secrets. At some point, there'll be a new program, and when it's time, it's gonna be better than Shift Shop. I can tell you that right now. I promise. It's gonna be epic. All right, I'm ready to turn the tables on you guys. Doreen, in 60 seconds, tell me, what do you want to accomplish in the next 3 years? And turn the tables on y'all. How you like that?
Okay, in the next 3 years, I would like to accomplish being more successful with Beachbody and becoming a 2-star diamond. I'm an Emerald coach right now. Raising my son, and then I am pregnant with my next baby and having a healthy pregnancy. I'm probably going to be doing Shift Shop now.
You're going to be pregnant for 3 years with that baby?
Oh, my God. Well, having a healthy pregnancy and then raising my baby from home and making a good income from home so I can stay at home with my baby.
What's a good income from home? Be specific.
Probably to match my income from when I was working as an oral surgery assistant, which was like a couple thousand a month.
Okay, so let me ask you a question. Why would you say match it? If you have, this is beautiful. This is what I love right here. This is the part that makes me want to reach through this computer and say, look at me. Why would you want to match a job that you thought was the best thing for you when you got, hold on, you have 2 babies, you just entered into a new arena of a business for yourself. Why would you want to match? If that's the case, you should have just stayed as a surgeon assistant or whatever you said you were. But you see what I'm saying? Let me, but you don't have to. But the thing about it is this: you're expected to dream big. Like, don't, because look, if you don't dream big, subliminally you're gonna pass that down to your babies. You see what I'm saying? So you should expect greatness. Expect to do better than you've ever done. Don't ever match anything, because a boss will try to match a salary to you. So don't match a salary to yourself.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
See, now you're getting all emotional because you're pregnant. I love it.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Carrie, 60 seconds. Give it to me.
So for me, I'll just share with you a little bit of my letter. I really want to help people pass their self-doubt. And by self-doubt, like the thing that sort of has been recurring to me lately is this idea of like, I have this idea of who I am. Mm-hmm. And it's all wrong, obviously, because God meant me to be so much more than that. And just sort of coming into this idea of God meant me to be so much more. And he's already given me the tools and the gifts and the talents to be all of that. I just need to rise to the occasion. And I want to pass that down to people. That's the gift that I want to give people. With the health and the fitness, the nutrition and everything to go with it. But when I've already got a couple of coaches and they deal with depression and anxiety and things like that. And if I could change their life in any way, shape, or form, it would have nothing to do. It would have everything to do with everything, but the most important part to me would be to increase their self-confidence and just get them to understand what I am telling myself every day, which is God's already given me everything that I need. And I'm not who I think I am. I'm who he thinks I am. So to just live up to that, to just release this idea that's holding me down and be everything that I already am in his eyes. So.
Right. So the beauty of that right there is you're a leader, because these are people that's in your team. They're going to duplicate you regardless, because you're their leader. So everything you want to see in them, you got to overcome it within you, because that gives them everything you say power, because you lived it. You see what I'm saying? So when they mirror, they take a little bit of your genius and apply it to their genius. That's when you see magical things happen. So that your heart is definitely in the right place. You definitely want to lead with your heart, but you gotta represent what you want them to become. Sometimes you gotta dream for others until they wake up. But the only way you could dream for others is you gotta be that dream, because they're watching you. Does that make sense? Yes. All right, Angela, you up. 60 seconds.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So I actually just did my letter this morning. That's why I've been emotional all day long. Mm-hmm. And I shared it with my entire team, which was really emotional. And I've been doing this for 4 years now, and I have a lot of story and a lot of overcoming and still going through, because I have a teenager and I'm married. So it's never ending. Always a story to overcome. But I have had this idea placed on my heart for a while, and I've been too scared to say it out loud, and I recently have. And ever since I have, it's like all of these people and resources are just presenting themselves to me. And it's really crazy. And I want to hold an event like on a yearly basis, or maybe even more. But I want to show women that there is hope through my story, but through learning how to believe in themselves again, learn how to love themselves again, learn how to bring that and that unity back in their home, and how to learn that they can overcome anxiety and depression, and the little tiny action steps that they can implement, and these rituals that they can do, and all these tools and things that I've learned. I want to share that, and I want special speakers there to help with different topics and to just speak life over them. And our teenagers in our town are so sad, and there's so much death, and I can't handle it anymore. It kills me. I have 2 teenagers, and I got certified in a program last July, and I got too scared to continue practicing it, to teach it. And I had one opportunity to do a workout, a surprise workout with my husband's Police Explorer program at his academy. And it was, I'm talking right now.
Third and first, Paul Goldschmidt hit a base hit.
Okay, thank you for the baseball update, baby. And it was an incredible feeling to speak life over these kids, and to see some of the things that they went through, and some of their family members that didn't even want to talk on the phone with them when they got one chance after a whole week to call them and say, hi, I miss you and I love you. And some of them were so heartbroken. Like, there's got to be some kind of unity brought back, and brought back in their spirit, and given tools given to them so they can be good leaders in this world. And I know that's a lot. That's a lot. And there's a lot on my heart right now. So I don't even know where to go with all of it, but
yeah,
I don't know.
That's global. Like, that's a whole, like, we had like, I think 30 suicides this year already here. And yeah, the most recent one was actually around the corner from my house. I live in Jackson. Did you hear about that story, Carrie? Phew, it's nuts. My kids are going to go there. But anyway, I think one of the most powerful things that women need to understand is you guys are the dominant sex. And this is why I say that. There isn't a man in this world, including myself, can go through a menstrual cycle. Sorry, can't do it. It's impossible. We can't do it. We can't go through labor. We can't go through any of those things. So you guys go through menstrual cycles. You go through labor. You do so much that has your hormones out of balance. Somehow, some way you bring it back into balance, and then you still demonstrate love. Do you understand how powerful that is? So I think when a woman can tap into her power by her story and the things she had to overcome, the things that she does throughout a lifetime, could show you right there what your value is. Like, we can't do that, ladies. We can't. We can take care of you. We can provide security, but we can't walk in your shoes. So I think when women understand that they need us. There isn't a woman in this world that has the ability, like you can do everything. And what can you not do? Does that make sense to you? I think in business, women have been so used of, thinking they're less and kind of like letting the husband lead. No, man, you got to step out, because the women in this world, the young girls, they're weak-minded. You see what I'm saying? And you guys are the frontiers. Like, you guys are their example. Like, a successful woman is powerful, because it teaches other little girls that you don't have to, be searching for that in a man when everything you need is already in yourself. You see what I'm saying? I just got custody of my daughter 3 weeks ago. And she goes to the city schools. I'm letting her finish out this year, and then she's going to go to Jackson next year. But it's just amazing to me of the mindset she has going to a different school. You see what I'm saying? Because I had her, I have her, obviously I have her more now. I got to reprogram her whole mind. And I got to show her value. So I put her in karate. I put her in gymnastics just to show her different sides of herself. I put her in karate for the mental discipline, to complement me telling her who she is. When she goes to school in the morning, I make her look in the mirror. You got to say 5 things about yourself, point in that mirror. And she does it. But I'm doing that because and I'm not disrespecting her mother at all. Please don't take it this way. When she was living with her mom's insecurities got on her. So when she came to me, every Wednesday, every other weekend, I'm fighting a losing battle here, because you are who you hang around. You see what I'm saying? And this is not a shot at her mom at all. It's a great person. However, she had her mom's mindset. And I can't allow my daughter, especially when I'm impacting the world, my kid has a weak mind. Are you serious? That don't even make sense. I need to quit talking on these Zoom calls and Beachbody and focus on being a dad. That makes sense? So I think you guys need to walk in your power. I mean, I get it. I know that you've been the lesser, for several years of what was taught to you, but no, you're the dominant sex, and you need to own that. You don't believe me? Go ask a man, you want to push this baby out for me? They gonna say no. You'll be like, no, I'm good. You go ahead and kick that. I mean, it's serious. Like, I'm just telling you the truth. Like, we just had a conversation, not to be personal, yesterday. Dana said, so who's getting the procedure after the baby? You. I'm not getting snipped. Are you crazy? No, you're getting the procedure. I can't do it. I'm sorry. Muscles and all. I'm a sissy. I can't handle that. No, I just can't do it. I don't have it in me. It's the truth. All right. You're up, Tanya. She said, oh my gosh, I can't believe he called me out like that. Can you give me in 60 seconds?
You're Tanya.
Okay. Well, as Angela was saying, I'm that same person. I'm certified in something, and like, this is my niece. You're getting me right now. Like, I'm good to tell her, but I don't know why I'm in my own way.
That's beautiful.
So strong.
That's beautiful.
So
I love that.
Strong and will-minded and just driven by 30 different things all at the same time, and can like lead an army. But yeah, I know when it comes to yourself,
for some reason, I can't get out of my own way. I'm great, screen to screen with you on my TV working out. Some lady stopped us in the gym yesterday.
Stranger.
And she said, do you teach? And I said, no, but I can. She said, you need to be here teaching right now. She was just watching the two of us.
She was watching the two of us because somebody kept stopping every 30 seconds to correct both of our forms and to not micromanage, but just to like walk me through 80-day obsession, because it's my first time. You.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, you, because you are just like a leader, a natural born leader, and you do have teaching skills, and she's just amazing. So you have to break the barrier.
And I know you were saying that, we have the tools. I know I have all the tools to skyrocket in my business, my Beachbody business, but for some reason I keep getting in my own way, and I don't know what that reason is.
This is crazy. Some people get in their own way because they're afraid of success. And you know why? I'm telling you the truth. This is the honest goodness truth. Some people, they're afraid to be successful because they feel like, especially if you come from a situation where you really didn't have the love and unity you've always wanted. So when success is right at your fingertips, you're afraid to take it because you're afraid of losing people, or you're afraid of leaving people behind. That's the honest to goodness truth. And sometimes you got to realize that, like, that's you crying right there. That's your purpose right there. Your purpose is like, thank you, Chris, for calling her out. Like, let me remind her who she is. All those emotions, that's your purpose. Like, reminding you of who you are. You don't have to look outside yourself to find out who you are. You don't need validation from nobody else to be the person you want to be. Your purpose is telling you. That's why you're getting emotional. And you're serious. Your purpose, it'll talk to you, and it'll make you very emotional to remind you that you are great. Just go. Just leap. What's the worst that can happen? You'll be sitting at the table with your niece. That's the worst that can happen. All right, Kay Preston, what you got?
Oh boy. Well, all I'm thinking about right now is that I'm so bummed I missed yesterday's call and that I obviously have to go write this letter to myself. Everyone's nodding. Yes, go do it. I think, well, first of all, I'm going to do that either probably right after we get off the call, after my workout. Before Saturday, I'm going to do it for sure, because obviously this
you better.
Okay, I will report back.
I'm joking.
I think I'm kind of in the same boat as some of the other ladies have said about like being in your own way. I need to step out of my head, and I know that I want to help other people feel as good as I feel and share with them, like, just, you know, I did Shift Shop too, and what you set out to do, that's what it did. Obviously it's so successful and there's, you know, all these comments, but I just think back to when I did it, and now I'm feeling that inspiration come back. And I think it's probably because I'm talking to you also, but I need to just get out of my own way and get consistent in everything that I'm doing, but share with other people how good something like this, not just the health and fitness. Carrie, you mentioned this too. It's not only about the health and fitness. It's about looking into yourself and realizing that you do have a lot of potential and putting it out there. Like you just said, what's the worst that could happen? I mean, you just have to go for it. So getting out of my own way is probably this huge goal in general. And I'm feeling a little emotional myself, but that's the big thing. I think I just need to stop being afraid of success. I work full-time for a small marketing agency here in Phoenix, in addition to coaching. And I was enrolled at one time. I'm an active coach right now. My upline is very active. There's great resources. It's an amazing community of women. But I think part of it is that I'm struggling to find balance between working full-time and kind of having a lot of negative energy at that office, and then trying to stay motivated. And you know, it feeds into, it's my whole life, right? I mean, your career, right? But that negative energy is something I really struggle with, and I, you know, take that home and then complain, and I'm struggling with that. So getting out of my way and just dropping that negativity, I think, is where I'm at.
You know what's so cool about all of that? This is crazy. You know what your problem is? You got to write the letter. No, seriously. This is, I bet you Lindsay can, because Lindsay went into something yesterday very similar. Do you know why you're dealing with all these different emotions? Because you're in the wilderness of all these different chaotic emotions and all these people. And because you don't know who you are. And the reason why you don't know who you are is because you didn't write that letter. So you're taking on the cares of everybody else, and it's driving you cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. You coming home complaining about work because work consumed you. Absolutely. Because you have this empty vessel, but really your purpose is in there. But it's not, the attention is not on your purpose. Your attention is on like everything else that has nothing to do with you. The minute you write that letter, I guarantee you go to work, work's going to look different to you, because you're going to see everything that used to consume you, you're protected because you are that letter. That's your identity. If I was to bring my kids to your house right now, knock on your door and say, here's your son, you're going to be like, that ain't my son. Because you know that's not your child. You know that 100%. But you go to work every day not even knowing who you are. It's that simple. So because you don't know who you are, you're becoming everybody in that office. And it's driving you nuts. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And then you just said it yourself. I'm an active as a coach, but my upline, they're very active. It's like you're just out in the wilderness, like, hey, what's going on? Taking on the cares of everybody else instead of the cares for yourself. You're nowhere near an equation. You taking on everybody else's burdens. 100%. When you write that letter, it simplifies everything. Physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, financially, and in your family. What do you want? When you write that down, that's your reality. That's your purpose. That's your why. That's your I am. Everything else does not matter. And it will be crystal clear that it doesn't matter, because guess what's going to happen? You're going to emotionally disengage with all that other stuff because it has nothing to do with your mission statement for your life. That's the quickest way to get rid of that. Write that letter.
I'll report back.
Yep.
Thank you.
What was you going to say, Lindsay?
I agree. I can't, you guys, I've been doing this business for 7 years. My head hurts thinking about it, but my head hurts thinking about how I went about this business. Despite the fact that it's been very successful. Really, I'm surprised how well I've done, but literally I mean, a letter, just once you really own those who you are, and maybe even I might recommend even using some very bold words for you. And then, so for example, I use 3 words and they're bold, brave, and confident. And I always think how would a bold, brave, and confident Lindsay handle this? How would she handle this? And I have to act like that because you're going to constantly have stuff come up. Life is never going to stop. And I take a step back and I'm like, okay, how would she handle this? And how would she handle this? And how would she show up on social media? And I thought of some photos I'd put up and I was like, geez, that is not right. You need to change some stuff. And when I shifted that and I was just laughing because I literally wrote down today, it's not the letter, but I also like to write to-do lists and goals consistently each day, believe it or not. And I wrote down, sign a coach. And one of the girls that I've wanted, who's amazing, just signed up and messaged me. I didn't even have to go bother her. She just said, hey, I'm here. I'm like, oh my God, this is crazy. It really freaking works. So I'm going to shut up now, let him keep talking. But it really works. So you need to listen to him.
It works. It works. Here's something real quick before I go into Sophia. 3 days ago, I was frustrated. No, I'm sorry. It was 2 days ago. I was talking to one of my friends, and I said, man, my body hurts so bad. She said, go get a massage. I said, man, these massage therapists around here suck. They do. I'm just being honest. She's like, why do you say that? I said, because there's no passion. To them, it's a job. There's no passion in it. They don't. When I go to LA, those Koreans, they touch my soul. They get in there. And I'm like, there's just no passion because there's no passion in our area. And I said, no, man, I what I need is not here. Come home today, all these Beachbody boxes in front of my door. I called yesterday and asked for 3 shirts. I got 5 boxes. Jericho sent me a Thorogun massager. Bam! I had no idea, and it's got my name on it. I had no idea that was going to happen. Colin sent me a text. He said, hey, Jericho has a gift for you. I hadn't spoken to Jericho. She has a gift for you. It's pretty awesome. So I'm thinking, why is she sending me a gift? And I'll be darned. The best massager ever. 20 seconds on the area, and I'm over here like, whoa! But it was a point that's what my passion was. I really want this. And it didn't matter where it was coming from. And she sent me a $600 gun. Well, not a gun, but a massage gun. Look it up. It's Thorogun. It's incredible. Incredible. All right, Sophia, what you got for me?
All right. Pretty sure my husband, if he heard the question, is probably please don't let her say let's get 7 or 8 more kids. Because he's a little maxed out with the 3 we have right now. But I've had it in my heart ever since we started this foster journey to do more. And at first I thought it was just going to be fine just by adding the 2 more kids that we have now. But now I'm kind of thinking there's more that I can do. And more with teenagers in particular, which I know are kind of the scarier ages to deal with, especially, you know, going through the foster care system. But one of the things I've been looking at recently is like helping change legislation for foster care, which is a big thing to tackle on its own. And I found an organization that I can start working with, but I don't know why, I just haven't pulled the trigger yet and contacted them to work with them yet. I kind of keep making excuses like, oh, well, I don't have time, you know, I can't get a sitter to go meet with these people and all of these things. And, you know, it's kind of like a bigger, scary dream. Like, it's not even just about me anymore. It's about helping a large number of people. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. And hopefully I'll take a step forward and do something about it.
So what are you afraid of? There's nothing to be afraid of. like you already have it birthed in your heart. It's in your spirit. Like, you just have to take action. What's the worst that can happen? You know what I mean? The worst that can happen is what's happening right now. But like, every great leader is a change agent. Martin Luther King was a change agent. JFK was a change agent. You see what I'm saying? They took risks, but they stepped out. They took risks, but they stepped out on purpose. And when you step out on purpose, you can't fail. It's impossible to fail. You see what I'm saying? Just do it. What's the worst that can happen?
You're right.
Right? All right, Caitlin. Oh, you gave me the sideways smile, like you didn't want to answer the question.
No, because I knew it was coming. As soon as you threw out the first name, I'm like, oh, I got to write things down just in case. But first of all, I just wanted to say that our stories are very, very similar. My uncle was my reason why as well. And we were both very close and all of that. So I had to throw that out there. But what did I write down here? My first was to make a difference in a lot of the lives around me and have people believe that, you know, they are worth it and that putting that time in during the day is more than okay for them to do, and to be selfish and to be, you know, believing in themselves. My second one was to find the part of me that is missing. And through this journey, I've found bits and pieces, but I haven't found the full. And I think, of course, that comes with time. So just kind of finding that along the way. Clearing my debt was another one. Mm-hmm. But, and then just really kind of finding what sets my soul on fire. I work in a group home full time and I love it. I love the guys I work with, but it's just some days I'm dragging my heels and I don't want to do it some days. And it's like what you were saying, where I'm taking in everyone else's energy and not focusing on my own.
So you know what? Remember you said you getting bits and pieces? You know how you can fix that, right? That letter. That letter is the foundation. Whatever's missing, that letter's gonna complete it because you're gonna fill it. You're gonna fill in the gaps. You see what I'm saying? Like when you write that letter and it's exactly what you want. And this is the thing that I really I want you guys to understand. Like the only wrong answer is the one you don't put down. But we so conditioned to think like this is unrealistic expectations. My mother didn't accomplish this. My dad didn't accomplish this. You know, no one around me accomplished it. That's great. Now you can. Somebody in your family has to be the trendsetter. They have to. My mom was a prostitute, a drug addict. My dad was not involved in my life. I was adopted. You see what I'm saying? So the odds was already stacked against me. But I knew I had a purpose. Like I knew I had a purpose. And what was even crazier is I have their DNA in me, which means if I'm not focused, I probably could veer off to the left or to the right. You see what I'm saying? But I knew that I know for it without a shadow of a doubt that I had a purpose. My parents had a purpose. They just never woke up to it. They stayed distracted. Love them to death, but they stayed distracted.
Mm-hmm.
But until you write that letter, that's going to end all your confusion right there, because it's what you want. All these great people in the world that we admire, we look up to, oh my gosh, this person is this. Man, they ain't no different than us, guys. They just stepped into their purpose. It's just that simple. Like, you're supposed to dream big. I'm challenging you guys to dream big. Because if you don't dream big, somebody else is going to dream big for you. And their dream is going to be to destroy you or not let you see your potential. There is more dream killers in the world today, more now than ever. So many people have no idea who they are. Setbacks, failures, hanging around the wrong people. They are blinded from reality. And they don't want you to see your reality. And they come in many shapes and sizes, many disguises. I told my daughter, I said, before she met her boyfriend she has now, you know, all these kids know who I am. And she dating one kid, great athlete. And I like the kid. And she said, Dad, what do you think? I said, first 6 months, you're not dating him. You're dating his representative. After 6 months, then you're going to see who this cat is. But what did I tell you? 6 months later, things fell apart. I said, sweetheart, every guy that comes, that ain't them. That's a representative. Here's another thing. Here's the biggest test. If he don't resemble or reflect me, you don't need him, because I'm your superhero. I'm the man you've seen the most. I do it. Unfortunately, I made her dating pool very difficult because my daughter never touched a door handle. Always open the door for her. Always put her in the car, put her out of the car, open the door for her. So even to the point where she started driving, I put her gas in her car. So guess what? If he don't open the door for you, that's it. That's sign number one. That's it. And then if he don't put gas in your car, even if he used your debit card, he should never let you touch a gas pump. You see what I'm saying? Now, she still calls me for everything, but that's just gonna happen. She's a daddy's girl. But you see my point? My point is, you got to set the standard of who you are. Because if you don't, somebody else is going to set it for you. You don't want to live somebody else's life. Don't do it, man. That's why there's so many people depressed and going through so much right now. They live in somebody else's life. All right, Jessica, you're up. 60 seconds. What you got?
Me? I don't even know how to work this.
You working it. We just heard you.
Am I? Okay. All right. I didn't know how to work it. This is the first time I've done one of these calls, so I'm like, I don't know how to do this. We'll learn. For me, well, this Super Saturday is the second one I've been to. The first one was about a year ago. My coach, she was trying to get me signed in. She's like, yeah, come on, let's go. We're going to have fun. So I went. So I didn't know about all this prep work. So now I know I need to go listen to the other calls and do this letter, even though I think I've done it in my work in the past couple years already. So it might be easy, or well, easier, I guess. What I've learned, a lot of it is being honest with myself, with my boundaries, with what my own faults are and how I get in my own way, and kind of hold myself accountable as I go, to where when I'm doing them, I'm like, oh, nope, I need to stop that, because I'm just going to stay in the same boat that I'm in all the time.
Yeah. Back to that letter.
Exactly. I'm like, that's exactly. I'm like, this is all my to do. I'm going to go do that.
It's the letter.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't know, it's just so much fun. But I wanted to tell you too, is I've done a few Beachbody workouts and stuff, but with your workout, it was like, something clicked for me different than the other programs. And I think it was the way that you engage. Because there was times I'm like sweating my butt off, and then I'd hear you, and I just had to stop the video because I'm like, all right, I got to have emotions right quick so I can get back to work because of what you've said. And it kind of, like, I guess, motivated me even more to really go into my self-care and taking care of myself. I've had a lot of issues, so a lot of it's like I have codependency issues, so I take care of others, and I have to take care of myself first. And one person said it perfectly: how can you take care of others if you don't take care of yourself first? Because you're not going to be able to give that person 110, 120% if you are not taking care of yourself, and you're, going by through like with 50%. You can't give that energy to the people that you love and that you care about, whether it be your kids or your family members or your close friends. I'm not even talking about work. I mean, that you just turn into a robot. But so I'm excited. I'm really excited for Saturday. It's insane.
You know what I told this? You guys don't think I'm mean when I say this, but and everybody in my home will tell you. You know who the most important person in my life is? Me.
Absolutely.
And I can tell you why. Because unless I'm performing at my maximum potential, I can't bring out the best of anybody around me. Not my kids, nobody. I'm robbing them. So I'm the most important person in my life. Because if I'm not where I need to be, they're gonna pay for it. I'm gonna mislead my family. And that's just how I look at it. Now, you say, well, there's I'm talking about this as far as like taking care of myself. Physically, financially, I provide, I make sure everybody's good. I'm giving, I'm that to my relatives. But my point is, I love me more than I love anybody. Because of how am I going to love them if I don't love myself? There's nothing selfish about that. That's why little Chris walks around here with so much confidence and Jace doesn't. Because I taught little Chris, you know who you love more than anybody in this house? You love you. But I love mommy and daddy. No. You love you more than you love mommy and daddy. You see what I'm saying? But obviously I have to nurture that so he don't get crazy. I mean, he does run around here dressing like Mario and Luigi and all that. That's a whole nother story. But the whole point I'm making is I got to teach my son to love himself unconditionally. So then when he puts his arm around me and says, Daddy, I love you, I feel it because he loves himself. Does that make sense? All right, Mindy, what you got for me?
I was praying that you were not going to have enough time to get to me, to be honest.
Well, I'm coming here tomorrow. I don't have nothing to do.
I've been praying, but I was really excited. I wrote my letter. I said my letter out loud. It will be 4 years I've been coaching on this Saturday, Super Saturday. I signed up as a coach. And I am proud of what I've grown within myself, but it is not where I want to be or where I had written down 4 years ago. So the letter, I spoke it aloud, and it was hard because it was really hard because I couldn't write paper because I kind of lost who, like you said, in the office, like you're everyone in the office, not yourself. And through the last 2 years, that's what I had become. I had started to hang out with people that didn't have higher priorities. I started, being back in mom life. And I love my husband. He's amazing. We've been married 14 years, but I let myself drift back to where his contentment is. And he can be where he's at, and that's okay. But I'm the dreamer. And so speaking my letter out loud, it got me back to why I started. So in 3 years from this point, when I go into Super Saturday, I'm taking it as like a cleanse. But my goal was to make a shit ton of money serving people the right way. And the reason why I have to say that, because I lost my job before I found coaching. I worked retail. And that was 4 years ago, so 31. And 10 years before that, my mom died suddenly, for breast cancer. Long story for another day. My point was, when coaching came about, I realized I didn't want to spend the rest of my life working and not enjoying my family. And I needed to make a ton of money in order to enjoy my family fully. And so I have no shame in that, but I lost focus on that because I was making a great salary, like you said, I was making a great living folding t-shirts in a mall. But my saying was always, I'm changing lives one t-shirt at a time, changing lives one t-shirt at a time. And it might empower these high school kids to just grow and go. And I realized that I have something that can really change people's lives. And for the last 2 years, I've lost sight of that. So I spoke that. And my goal is, my goal of helping people and serving women is because when you walk down the aisle, whether your background comes from, but not having a mom who was loving all my life on my wedding day was really freaking hard. And now I'm a girl mom, and I refuse to we don't know what the future holds, but I refuse to just let it happen. I will make the changes that I will be there in my control for their weddings. But that's my goal, is for women to realize that they have to get out of their depression in their sight and just fucking do it, because and that's where my why. So in 3 years, my goal is to have created a 6-figure income. I know it's possible, but I will do that. And I will do it through helping women who are focused on working women to get them out of like their cycle that there's not enough time, that they're not enough.
So when you say 6-figure income, you don't have to say it on here, but on that paper, you got to give me a number.
So my number is I want to make in 2021. I want to end the year at $555,000 for the year for 2021. Thank you. So, and my goal is, because that was always my lucky number, because we were a family of 5, and my volleyball number back in the day. But that's my plan for 2021. So yeah.
That's it. It's gonna happen.
But yeah.
It is.
But I'm scared, and so I popped on because.
What are you talking about? You're scared. What are you talking about?
Because I, for the 4 years, have had this in my heart, but I have let all of the negativity creep in, and I have one of my best friends and best coaches in my organization, like in the whole Beachbody, and I just haven't been able to push past my fear. So, but that changed this month. That changed this week.
So do you know what fear is?
So I really listened to this week, the fear of faith, right? Like, but you only have either, right? You either have fear.
No, I'm asking you, do you know what fear is? Do you know what fear is?
So I believe that fear is the opposite of faith. Like, it's the worst things that could happen.
Do you know the definition of fear?
No.
Fear, listen to me, it's for everybody. Fear is false evidence appearing real. Say it again.
False evidence appearing real.
It's an illusion. Have you ever seen fear walking down the street? Say, oh, look, there go fear. He got on a pair of Jordans.
No.
You ever seen fear at the grocery store? Like, fear is in that other aisle. Don't you ever seen it? Fear is what you create fear to be. It's an illusion. It's not even real. Once you get your mind wrapped around that, it's over. I want you to, and because you're deep, I love it. I need you to process what I just said to you, what fear really is. False evidence, which means it's not real.
Right.
Appearing real. Do you understand how powerful those 4 letters are? False evidence. Appearing real. Yeah, let that sink for a second. All right, Leanne.
Thank you.
Got?
Hey, I wasn't sure if you'd call on me.
Oh, I'm calling on everybody. I got one more person. Angie, you next.
So I just really want to stop selling myself and my whole life so short and stop like sleepwalking through everything. This Super Saturday is coming at like the perfect time because I've always struggled with mental health, and it's my 5-year anniversary of the last time I tried to commit suicide. So I'm just, I've like taken care of everyone my whole life and grew up with, druggy parents. And I'm just so sick of like living that story that I can't be successful and have a happy, healthy life. And so in 3 years, I want to be an elite coach and, have a team of hundreds of people who are inspiring thousands of people to live, just their best lives. And, just show people that they can overcome whatever their limitations are.
So, say that again. You said the limitations are, and what else?
just so that they can overcome, you know, whatever limitations are in their head or whatever stories they've been telling themselves their whole life. And I don't care really about whatever, I guess, rank I get to. I don't have an income goal. I just, you know, I don't want people to feel how, you know, I felt most of my life.
So I'm going to change two things for you. The one thing is when you say you don't care, you don't have an income goal. So I just told you 25, 30 people committed suicide in my area, right? All kids. Every last one of them were kids. They were successful at it. You weren't successful at it for a reason. Because remember I said something earlier about being a trendsetter? So now when you look at your background, you look at the parents and you look at everything and how you've always tried to take care of others, like you always strive to bring out the best in other people. All along, you're the one hurting. You see what I'm saying? Imagine putting that same energy and everybody else into yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Look how beautiful you are. Look at your smile. You see what I'm saying? Look at the person you are. Look at your creativity. I mean, think about what I'm saying to you. Like everything you really want, you already got it. You just looking outside for it because you're trying. You know, I can tell you. You know how I can tell you already got it because you're trying to give it to somebody else. Give it to yourself.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? And like, as far as that, like I don't want to put pressure on you. You don't have a choice but to rise above this. You know why? Because suicide is one of the leading deaths right now. You have to be a spokesperson for this. And most importantly, from a woman's perspective, because women are powerful and little girls need to hear your voice, not the man's voice. Because the average person will look at you and be like, oh my gosh, you would have did that? Because of the way you present yourself. You see what I'm saying? Like you have to be, you represent every girl in this world that feels hopeless, that's had a tough life at home. You got all of that on your shoulders right now. And your story is a story that they need to hear. And so when I say, you say, I want to be an elite coach, I don't really have an income goal. No, you have to have an income goal because that's how you show them how you resurrected your life. You reinvented yourself. You went from this to that with a shift in your mindset, understanding your value and your purpose. Okay. So you got to solidify all those gaps that you don't care about. No, I need you to care about them because as soon as you care about them, that's when your life is going to be complete. So even from your perspective, because you have that spirit of like, I'll commit suicide or death in you, you can't allow anything related to your personality to have death in it. Everything around you within you has to be alive, which means your income has to be alive. Your mental has to be alive. Your emotional state has to be alive. Your goals have to be alive. You have to be surrounded by life. One of the most powerful things you can do, and call me crazy if you want to, one of the most powerful things you can do is hug a tree. I'm telling you the truth. There's so much life in a tree. You know why? Because of all the branches, how fruitful it is, how living it is. One root. If you ever put your arm around a tree, you'll feel the energy of a tree. You'll feel it. You'll feel the vibration of that tree. And you look back and you see how fruitful, not meaning fruit, but how it's spread in its leaves and flowers. That's success right there. That's why I struggle with fall so much when the leaves fall. I struggle with that. You see what I'm saying?
Yes. I love that. Thank you.
All right, Ange, what you got?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh, good. I also, this is my first call too, so.
Oh, man.
So I don't know. First of all, I have to say, like, I'm really humbled to be a part of a group of so many awesome women, especially who have been through things like me. I think I struggle with anxiety, and recently it just leveled me. 5 weeks ago, I was basically laying flat on the floor on my face, not really sure what to do. I had to take a leave of absence from my day job. That is probably going to kill me at one of these points, but no, it's actually not. I'm not going to let it.
See how quick she changed that?
I was working on it where I thought it might, and I thought that I might let it, but I'm not going to. So it's really empowering to be part of this group of women. And I have to say that it was a group of women, you know, a group of Beachbody women who got me into this. And my coach kind of just kept talking to me. I actually bought my challenge pack back in January and started with the 80-day obsession, dropped it off after a week. Just really not feeling like I was worth it and like I couldn't do it. And so she just kept talking to me about it. She's like, you need a coach. You need to be a coach. You have so much to say. You have so much to give. It's going to help you. You're going to help other people. So I, right when this anxiety thing happened a month ago, I just gave in and I was like, okay, I have to coach. I have to do this. I have to help somebody else because this is going to help me. I'm going to commit to it because I know I believe wholeheartedly. And this is before I even really committed. It's going to help me and I can help somebody else. It's powerful to be with other women who have been through that and who know what we're going through and of all kinds of mental and physical and maybe not ailments. Like it's just so very powerful. So I'm so grateful for that. In 3 years, I have an income goal. I want $600,000 a year minimum. So that's my income goal. I want to be an elite coach. I will get out of my job. I actually have a 6-month goal to leave my shitty career. I'm a clinic supervisor in a really busy doctor's office that is so dysfunctional, and it's just sucking the life out of me. So I'm going to leave that in 6 months, and in 3 years, I'm going to make $600,000 minimum and be debt free and make a believer out of my husband too, because he really just thinks this is kind of a crock of shit, I think. But I'm going to do that, and I'm going to help other women just like me who don't believe in themselves. I believe in myself, but just be able to share my story and also to not focus on the money. I don't want my focus to ever be on the money I can make. If that makes any sense. Like I want to make the money, don't get me wrong, but I want to keep my focus in the right place so that it comes from the right place. I'm not going to force it. I really do. One of my uplines said that the right people will come to you because, kind of in the back of my mind, and I'm sure everybody else can relate, but you think this is an oversaturated market. There's so many Beachbody coaches, but my upline was really smart, and she's like, actually, there is a person. There's a coach for every person. There's a person for every coach. But the right people will come to you. The right people are coming to me. I don't have any coaches under me. Well, I have 2, but it's my mom and my husband. But I don't have any other ones, but I do have a couple ladies who are doing our challenge, and people are talking to me and I'm talking to them. So I'm making those connections. And it's the right people for me. Like I really feel it with each one of them. And I know that if I give it to God and, let him bring those people, it's going to happen. So I have no doubt that in 3 years, I will meet my goal.
Well, he already gave it to you. Now you just got to make the people happen. Because look, check it out. Your job is a representation. That challenges your job as a representation of how strong your team is going to be. So is dysfunctional there? You got to celebrate that. Like you got to celebrate that dysfunction and do in your power to keep it functional. Here's the reason why. As a growing coach, if you get a big team, everybody's not going to be on the same page. You're going to have some dysfunctional people come into your team, and you got to develop on the inside of you right now through your job. So you know how to train these coaches and bring them up and change their mindset. So the moment you start approaching work, like, you know what, I need this challenge because this job is a representation of what's really going on the inside of me. There's things in me that needs to be developed. And when the minute you conquer work, then you'll be removed onto your next mission. So all the headaches you see at work, all the difficult people, you gotta counter that by being the leader that you're going to be to your team. That right now currently isn't already developed. No. In your mind, work, that's your team. Are you bringing them into coaching? No, you developing that elite coach you want to be. So that's your coach. Those are your coaches right there. How are you going to manage that when you go to work? The moment you take care of that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to get promoted up out of there. And the whole time you developing that, people off in your coaching business is going to start coming to you because you're mastering the difficulty at work. You see what I'm saying? You understand how that works? Like you have to be there. In order to become this elite coach you want to be, you got to handle work. You got to learn how to deal with all those people so you know how to take care of every situation that comes to your team because you're the leader.
I never thought about it like that. Like,
oh, yeah, for sure.
Yesterday, I'm like, I'm going to quit. I had a moment and I was like, I have to quit. My husband's like, you can't quit. You're not quitting. You're not quitting. And that's where he like kind of doesn't support my Beachbody business all the way, but maybe in a way I think he thinks about things very logically, and he was probably looking at that way too. Like, I have to master that before.
Yeah. So like in the back of your mind, like you have to do this. One day your husband needs to visualize your husband saying, how did you do this? That's how you're going to get him on board. This is the most powerful stuff in the world to me. You go to work and you focus on making an impact at work, period. Your business is going to start growing as you start evolving because you become infectious. When you become infectious, people are gravitated to you. Then your coaching business is going to grow and your husband's going to be like, how'd you do that? That's how you're going to get him on board. You see what I'm saying? It's that simple. Let him have his thoughts he have. God bless him. Go work on work. Go empower work. When you empower work, you develop it into that elite coach. Guys, I'm telling you real quick before I let you go, I'm challenging you guys right now. Any challenger, any coach, any inactive coach, anybody with any doubts, fears, worries, feeling lost, I encourage you to make sure they come to this event. You guys, I'm just going to put it out there right now. You're going to sign up more coaches at this event than you ever have in any Super Saturday you've ever had. I promise you that right now. You bring them. I'm challenging you to bring them because this event is going to be powerful. Bring a lot of Kleenex. It's going to be, it ain't even about the workout. It's going to be about the moment. You guys are going to have an experience, and it's going to be way bigger than me. But you're going to get an experience. It's going to be a mental, emotional, and physical detox. And when you leave there, you're going to be on fire for your life. But most importantly, on fire for yourself. All right? I promise you. I promise. You'll never have another Super Saturday like this unless I come back. All right. All right. I'll see you guys later. All right.
Bye. Thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. See you later, Hal.